So we're all seeing in the headlines that interest rates are falling. Can you tell us exactly what's affecting that?
Yeah, so whenever I talk about interest rates with anyone, I always want to be really specific about which interest rates I'm referring to. Like common one that I see happen a lot is people watch the news and see that the Federal Reserve has hiked their interest rate or they've paused, and they'll assume that that means the exact same thing is going to happen to their mortgage rate. The federal fund rate and mortgage interest rates, they're two different types of interest rates. Sometimes they move in tandem, but not always at the same time. So it's really important to be specific about which rates we're referring to.
So mortgage interest rates have fallen, but not the federal interest rate.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think that's a really important distinction to make right now because a lot of times mortgage rates move in anticipation of what's going to happen with the Fed. So throughout 2023, the Fed was raising the federal fund rate in order to stop inflation. Throughout the fall, they started to put messaging out there of being like, we've probably done enough of raising the Fed rate. We're going to pause for now, see what happens, and more than likely have some cuts in 2024. That news, that messaging was enough for mortgage rates to fall in anticipation of better news throughout this upcoming year. But now the question becomes, how much will the Fed cut the federal fund rate? How often will they do it? And how soon will they do it? So we're kind of in a holding period right now, and it's important for people to know that a lot of people, when they see mortgage rates are falling, they assume this like smooth, precipitous fall. It might not happen that way. There might be a plateau, it might go up at times, but overall, that's the messaging for what is happening with mortgage rates right now.
Awesome. So what do we do with all this information?
Yeah, so I mean, I think a few different things. If you bought a house in the last year, it's really important to get with your loan officer now. Because you might already be in a position where you can refinance to a lower interest rate. And it might be at a point where it's just not worth it to do it yet. So you want to get with your loan officer, set a goal, because we track the rates every single day. It's going to be really hard for someone who doesn't to keep up with it like that. But once we know your goal, we'll call you and be like, hey, let's lock it in right now and let's do it. Even if you didn't buy in the last year, you can still utilize lower mortgage rates to pay down other debts. Credit card debt is at a really high level right now. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use that. So it's still a good idea, even if you have owned your home for more than the last year, you have a lower interest rate right now. Still a good idea to talk to your loan officer and get a plan in place. My purchase people, I'm giving them the same information I give them every single time. Know what you want your monthly payment to be and strategize based around that. Trying to fall in love with the perfect interest rate, it's just not really going to work like that. You can't control when you get your offer accepted. You really just want to be focused on what your monthly payment is and let us do the rest of the work as far as getting the best loan that fits you.